Hello, welcome to the community of the Port of Lazaro Cardenas. Here, you can get the most trusted information for the most important port of Mexico.
Within the framework of the new Michoacán Plan, the Subsecretary of Infrastructure and representative of the Secretary of Communications and Transportation, Raul Murrieta Cummings, carried out a supervisory tour of the Port of Lazaro Cardenas and commented that shares in the modernization with an estimated value of more than 2 billion pesos will be undertaken. Accompanied by the Director General of the SCT Center Michoacán, Alejandro Lambretin Naro, and the Director General of the Integral Port Administration, Jorge Luis Cruz Vallado, the Subsecretary commented that the investment will be done with the end result being to increase the capacity of the specialized automobile terminal of the port, which serves to support the growth of the automotive sector of the country, for which Lazaro Cardenas is the commercial link between the Asian continent.
Afterwards, and under the instructions of Gerardo Ruiz Esparza, Secretary of Communications and Transportation, Raul Murrieta held a meeting with the concession holders for the highways of Michoacán.
The concession holders reiterated their commitment to accelerate their work to conclude projects for highway maintenance, which, under the figure of the multi-year contract, they must maintain more than 600 kilometers of toll-free federal roads. During this meeting, discussion included the advances in work such as the construction of the Morelia-Norponiente bypass, the expansion from 2 to 4 lanes of the Pátzcuaro-Uruapan highway, and the renovation of the Uruapan to Lazaro Cardenas highway, which is estimated to be finalized in the last trimester of 2014. The Subsecretary, in conclusion, reviewed the feeder program of the intelligent technology systems through video surveillance, electronic tolling, and dynamic signage of the Siglo XXI highway in its Uruapan-Lazaro Cardenas section, which must also be ready by the end of this year. This measure, without doubt, will increase the productivity of the region and allow for a good flow of goods in the zone.
The reliance on the development of foreign trade in the Port of Lazaro Cardenas is reflected in the normal operation of its terminals and the arrival of vessels.
The port community of Lazaro Cardenas continues working regularly, offering the best service to foreign trade from its world-class logistics platform. In this regard, it's worth noting that the receiving of vessels, as well as the entry and exit of goods in all port terminals, is developing normally. In the port zone, the work coordinated by those in the logistics chain and the advantages in this zone strengthen our position and the confidence in the development of operations. It can't go without saying that the Port of Lazaro Cardenas has the most extensive infrastructure in Mexico, with specialized terminals and leading-edge facilities, as well as the best productivity in Latin America, also having ample rail and truck transport connectivity to the country's principal distribution and consumer centers. To this, we must add connections with maritime routes with regular stops in the principal ports of Asia, North, Central, and South America, along with speed in the clearance and delivery of goods. These aspects combine to make us the #1 port in the country in total cargo handling and the most competitive option in Mexico for the arrival of vessels.
As part of the flow of cargo movement in the Port of Lazaro Cardenas, truck transport is a key piece.
The two principal local partnerships for the transport of federal cargo strongly agree that Michoacán is free of the occurrences of cargo theft. Representatives of the partnerships affirm that there has been no negative effects on their activities, assuring that the highways can be relied upon. It should also be noted that one example is that carriers, as part of the logistics chain, must be properly standardized in their procedures, of which is that carriers must be completely identified and their transport units must be able to be located at any time, providing absolute confidence for port clients. The representatives of these partnerships point out that disinformation can have a serious effect, harming not only carriers, but all of the port's logistics chain and the entire general production.
The result of this is that the port is completely reliable.
Deriving from the operation carried out at the beginning of the month of March, where various agencies and authorities of the government carried out revisions of bulk mineral yards and facilities, it is important to point out to the port community of Lazaro Cardenas that this intervention was carried out outside the installations of the federal port zone of Lazaro Cardenas, which serves to reiterate that the entry and exit of goods in all port terminals is continuing normally. The port and its performers continue to offer the best service to foreign trade, with competitive advantages that position it as the leading port zone in total cargo movement in Mexico.
As you can see, it's here on the blog of the port community of Lazaro Cardenas, where you will find everything related with your port. We'll see you next time.